Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. First of all, introduce my name is Indah Septi Purnama, English Literature of University Bina Sarana Informatika from class 13-3-1825.
Alright, here I will present the three-part final term assignment. Part 1. Read this story correctly.
Baby Caterpillar was tired. All summer long she had been traveling slowly through the green world where she lived, and feeding on the green leaves that grew near her home. Now autumn had come and Mother Nature had given a holiday to the leaves, who put on their new dresses of red and gold and played tag with the breezes. Baby Caterpillar wanted to play too, but could not run so fast as the happy little leaves, and she grew very tired and thought she would take a nap. So she found a cozy place among the branches of a grapevine and made herself a soft, silky blanket. Then she rolled herself away within it, and then, in her queer little cradle, went to sleep. One night, late in the fall, Jack Frost came over the hill. He spied the cradle swinging to and fro, and began to play roguely with it, for he is a roguish little fellow, and touch everything that comes in his way. But the warm blanket hid the little sleeper so that Jack could not find her. By and by King Winter came, bringing beautiful snow blankets to Mother Nature's flower babies. He gently rocked the cradle as he passed and whispered, "Sleep, baby, sleep. You have no need of my blanket." At last, spring came with the sunbeams, the best and merriest of Mother Nature's helpers. They awoke the flowers from their long winter nap, and called to the birds and the brooks to begin their songs. When they came to the little brown cradle, they stopped to rest, and Baby Caterpillar began to get very warm under the thick blanket. She woke up and stretched herself, and her cradle broke, and she came out to greet the spring. But what a change! Instead of the old dingy dress that she went to sleep in, she now had a beautiful yellow one, and instead of crawling among the leaves, she flew up and away into the sweet spring air to play with the sunbeams and flowers, and the little children called her a butterfly.
Part 2. Read this poem correctly.
Billet does not rhyme with ballet. Bouquet, wallet, mallet, chalet. Blood and flute are not like food, nor is mold like salt and wood. Viscous, viscount, lewd and brood. Toward, to forward, to reward. And your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say crooked, rounded, wounded, grief and sieve, friend and friend, laugh and live. LVI privy famous clamour, and enamor rhyme with hammer. Rival tom bomb comb, doll and roll, and some and home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devil with clangor. Souls but full, hound but aunt, front, want, grand and grand. Sus, gas, das, now first size finger, and then finger, ginger linger. Real Jill move, George, judge, and jazz. Marriage, foliage, mirage, and age. Query does not rhyme with fairy, nor does fairy sound like Barry. Dos, los, pos, and dot. Cloth, lot. Job no bosom transom out. Took the difference seem little. We say actual but fictal. Refer does not rhyme with differ. Fover does and zipper heifer. Mint, pint, snet and sedet. Tool, bull, and George athlete. Scenic, Arabic, Pacific, science, conscience, scientific. Liberty, library, have and heaven. Russell, us, mustache 11. We say hello word, but hello word. People, leopard, toward, but forward. Mark the difference, moreover. Between mover, cover, clover. Leeches, breeches, with precise. Silis, but police and list. Camel, constable, unstable, principal, disciple, label. Pedal, panel, and kennel, with surprise, plate, promise, ball. Worm and storm, chase, toss, chair, snather, spectator, mayor. Tour, but hour, and sucker, for gas, Les, and Arkansas. Sea, idea, Korea, area, Psalm, Maria, but malaria. Youth, south, southern, cleanse and clean. Doctrine, turpentine, marine. Camper, lane with Italian, dandelion and badalion. Sally with Ellie, ye, I, a, way, and K. Say ever but ever, favor. Neither, leisure, scan, deceiver. Heron, greenery, canary. Savis and Davis and airy.
Part 3. Read this with their tongue naturally. Read is 3 times. The first is slow mode, the second normal mode, and the last is the fast mode. The first is slow mode. Number 1.
How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck, he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Number 2.
Can, you, can, cannot, can, into, and and cannot can like a canner can a cannot can into an cannot can.
Number 3.
Silly, Sally, swiftly, shoot. 7. Silly sheep. The 7. Silly sheep. Silly Sally shoot. Silly Sally shoot. Dash sheep shouldn't sleep in a sack. Sheep should sleep in a sack.
Number 4.
All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee. But I may be of my dad, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot.
Number 5.
Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, he thrust his fist against the post, and still inside he sees the ghost.
The second normal mode. Number 1.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he wood as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Number 2.
Can a cannot can into an cannot can like a cannot can a cannot can into an cannot can.
Number 3.
Silly Sally sweetly shoot 7 silly sheep. The 7 silly sheep silly Sally shoot. Silly Sally shoot. The sheep shouldn't sleep in a sack. Sheep should sleep in a sack.
Number 4.
All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee. But I may be of my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot.
Number 5.
Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, he rushed his force against the post, and still inside he sees the ghost.
The last is the fast mode. Number 1.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he could as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Number 2.
Can a cannot can into an cannot can like a cannot can a cannot can into an cannot can.
Number 3.
Silly Sally sweetly shoot 7 silly sheep. The 7 silly sheep silly Sally shoot. Silly Sally shoot. The sheep shouldn't sleep in a sack. Sheep should sleep in a sack.
Number 4.
All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper cup of coffee. But I may be of my dot, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot.
Number 5.
Amidst the mist and coldest frost, with stoutest wrist and loudest boast, He rushes first against the post and still inside he sees the ghost. Okay, that's my presentation. I am Indah Septi Purnama. Thank you very much for your keen attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.